Hey there, my friends. Welcome. I'm Alex. Welcome back to my channel. I'm a nervous system coach. I help you transform your energy so you can begin actualizing your ideal life. Today, we're going to be diving into the influential factors of this very now moment. Do you ever wonder, why am I experiencing what I'm experiencing? Why is all this stuff coming up for me with how I feel physically, mentally, emotionally? The stuff that's in my objective world that's being reflected back at me. What's all that about? What's going on here? What's going on there? And I don't know about you, but I'm really an inquisitive guy, and my curiosity, my childlike curiosity and inquisitiveness has led me down many of a rabbit holes, many of a place of research, development, discovery. And the nervous system has really interested me. It really plucked my ears, got my attention when I started to find out more about how the nervous system and how it's formed from birth to now, how this all plays a massive role within our energetic makeup. Our nervous system is one of the most beautiful things in the entire universe. It is so phenomenal what we have going on within us. And the incredibleness of it is so sensitive to it, how it develops and grows from our mother's birth canal right up to now. And we can look at two factors that are really important. We can look at our nervous system and how it develops, and as well as that, on a deeper level, our subconscious mind, which is the birthplace of what we see in our objective world. The impressions that our nervous system makes onto our subconscious mind is what creates and births everything that we experience in this reality. This is why it's so important to understand your nervous system. It's really important to understand your history and your past. But whilst learning to cultivate an element of detachment, an objective observer of what was going on in your past and what's happened to you up to this moment, and look at it from objectively and see all the variables that have kind of come together to impact and influence this very now moment. Because it's very easy, my friends, for us to drift back into being a victim to why did this happen to me? Why is all this going on? We start repeating essentially the same story that we've been telling ourselves and which has been repeatedly being reflected back at us in our life. So when we start to look through the eyes of understanding and compassion and objectivity, we start to really deepen our understanding. We really start to tune into the mechanics of ourselves and actually reality as we know it, and fundamental universal laws that are unfolding right now. And it's a revealing, it's an undoing, it's a rewriting process, because our past and our nervous system they're so powerfully intertwined. Our past, our highly charged emotional moments of development, which influence our nervous system, and then the impressions that are put onto our subconscious mind. It all essentially is writing our life story of what is occurring now in our life. And with that emotional strength that comes with that relationship, comes an identity and an attachment, which is what we need to work with undoing right now. And that undoing comes from our understanding of the mechanisms of how everything works. And naturally, if you're drawn to material like this, or anything, or material similar to this but from a different perspective, you're already in this process of undoing and revealing in your life right now. Curiosity is such a powerful tool for us. And your curiosity, if it's getting pulled to material like this, is taking you into the realms of the undoing and the renewing. And what we're essentially talking about is a rebirth and the creation of a whole new identity and a letting go of the past and our trauma and the real strong stories that come with our past that are impressed within our nervous system and then in turn into our subconscious mind, our memory, our emotional memory bank in the unconscious, all of which playing out in this now moment, sometimes on repeat, frustratingly on repeat. I don't know about you, but I really start to see and feel into my repetitive habits and behaviors which are not in line with my higher self. That are, I don't want to use the word toxic, but like not in line, they're not serving me. It's not in service for my highest good, but that's okay. We could start to bring in shame, condemnation, and we can end up going into this spiral vortex, which kind of keeps us stuck in the story that's all happening within us. And our nervous system, with this development, is very much influenced by moments of contraction and expansion. And it's when our degree of contraction from essentially a dysregulated standpoint, which keeps us impressing these, say, dysfunctional, non-serving attributes going on within us, and within as so without. And it usually takes us to get to a point where we're like, oh, bloody hell, it's so obvious that something's not right here. Something needs to be addressed here. And just already coming into a deep state of self-inquiry is a really powerful tool. We start to inquire. We start to say things like why, and then see how, and then be like, oh, okay, so this is how things are formed within me. From a nervous system standpoint, when our vagus nerve, which is a key component of our ability to regulate ourselves, becomes impeded, this influences essentially how we view the world. And when it comes to the nervous system, and say the vagus nerve, and when it comes to our parasympathetic nervous system, which is intertwined with the vagus nerve, when it comes to our degree of safety and regulation, and our sympathetic, which is our danger area of the nervous system, we sway in this, more so coming into this state of contraction, which is this over-activation of the sympathetic branch of the nervous system, which is our fight or flight mechanism. And we start thinking into the thoughts that come with that. When we're in a predominant state of dysregulation and contraction, we're tuning into the frequency of fear. And we have all the thoughts that are associated with that vibration. And all of which create this cage, this self-created cage of perception and viewpoint of how we view ourselves, the people in our lives, and the world as we know it. So when you start to really understand your nervous system, and you maybe reflected on your past and everything that's happened, which could have kept you in this, say, contracted, sympathetic fight or flight response, you can start to see why you have the thoughts that you do. Ones that are uncertain, ones that have doubt, ones that are fearful. And then you bring in grief and apathy and shame into this cauldron as well. These are all the emotions that are associated with a nervous system that's in a state of dysregulation. And we're far away from that state of profound, that love that we've all come from. We're far away, we become further away from that. And it's really good to remember that all of this is okay. To find a lightness of okayness amongst all of this is a really powerful tool to cultivate through this process. And it's from here that we can bring in the powers of gratitude, because we go through this to bring us into these deeper realizations that precipitate and are the catalyst to us wanting to heal, that we get this curiosity that pulls us into all the mechanics that are going to start to help us heal these really deep wounds within us. And that's what this is about. It's about understanding our wounds. It's about understanding how our nervous system is, the development of our nervous system creates within itself these wounds that we have to then process through. And it's through the alchemical process of transforming these wounds within that we go through this identity shift and awakening. We go from predominantly contraction to expansion. And it's through these different degrees of perception where the world starts to look totally different. There's something different going on within you. And the impressions that you have on your subconscious mind, which come from a contracted state, predominantly fear, one that's more of expansion and more in line with our higher self, the impressions on our subconscious mind from both of those parts, that polarity, are totally different. So we start to impress into our subconscious mind more so of the future identity of what we're growing into our heart's desires. This is when our heart starts to open. You can just think about like a budding flower as it's like going in through this process of growth. And it's exactly what we are. Like in the bud, it could be us, like in this moment of like contraction, of not flourishing in our full potential. And then we just like, as the flower opens and opens and opens, it's going from contraction to more so to expansion. And it is literally when we start to fully bloom, we start to release and renew ourselves on a really deep and profound level. And it's with that inner work, that inner journey that we're going on, we start to really harmonize our relationship with our subconscious mind. And there's a harmony that starts to occur. And all of this that's happening in this eternal now moment then starts to impress differently, which means we start to be pulled into a different future than what we would be if we were predominantly contracted all the time. When our nervous system starts to really heal whilst expanding and blossoming due to the work that we're doing, however that may be for you. I personally have favoured breath work as a tool. It's been a phenomenal guide and journey that breathwork has taken me on with this process, to nurture me through, to mother me through this contraction to expansion, stepping into a new identity moment, and however it may be for you. And feeling into the different thoughts that are going to be in our mind, that we're going to go from scarcity and lack to abundance and prosperity, this massive contrast of what's happening. And when we start to feel these qualities of gratitude, abundance, prosperity, opulence, wealth, these feeling tones are all going to start being impressed on our subconscious mind, which then in turn will start to bring in and reflect back at us with people, persons, situations, circumstances, opportunity, things always working out for us, and finding our really real profound state of flow in life. I am the divine flow of life. That's one of my favorite affirmations at the minute. I am the divine flow of life. I am the abundant flow of life. How you speak to yourself will start to change dramatically. What you'll see in your consciousness will start to change dramatically. And it comes with this healing of our nervous system, and then changing the impressions and shifting the impressions that are going on to our subconscious mind, and then reflecting back at us a whole new world, a world that feels in line, the world that we truly want, the world that our heart desires so much. Yeah. But sending you so much love, guys. Sending you so much love. Thank you so much for being here in this video, listening to me, tuning in. I love the idea of community. I love the idea of coming together. I love the idea of sharing our views and our thoughts and our feelings of everything we're going through, especially if you're vibing this kind of information and content. Sending you so much love, my friends. And I can't wait already to see you in the next video.